So look, Mary, you said you had a lot to say on this one. So does this generation have it easier?
Hmm.
So I'm gonna let you pop it off. What's up?
So I feel like this generation does have it easier, of course. Like the kids that we're raising. One, we're in a generation where we're trying to break curses, generational curses from things that we all grew up and been through and seen how it's affected each other. And um, it's just, I think we're a little bit more lenient and understanding and more welcoming to the fact that our children do have their own ideas, their own opinions, and they're allowed to have that. They're allowed to have their own voices, something that we didn't get growing up. So I feel like, as a group, I feel like we are doing better in that department, allowing our children to have voices. But at the same time, like the discussion with my husband, I feel like it's a double-edged sword because there's a lot less structure in kids. So although we are more open to their opinions and how they feel, I feel like there's not enough structure as there was when we were growing up.
So it's easier, but are we doing a so we're doing a worse job?
I feel like it's a double edged sword when it comes to that. That's why I said that because yes, we are more allowing of our children to be who they are, allowing our children to have voices, but is that kind of fucking up the generation, fucking up the new generation that's coming because we are that much lenient and more understanding, or is are we in a position where sometimes it does turn out for the better because we are allowing our children to have voices not only to us but to other people.
So what is your answer?
I wanted to talk about it because to me, I'm on the fence where we do have it easier. Our kids do have it easier, but it's not. That doesn't mean it's a positive outcome all the
I
time.
know. So what you think? Is it negative or positive?
But that's what I'm saying. I'm on the fence. That's what I said. I wanted to talk about it
Oh,
because
okay, okay,
I'm on
okay.
the fence of that. I
I
feel like
got
we do give them more leeway. Our kids do have it easier,
you.
but in a way it can be good, but in a way it's turning out bad
Okay,
for some.
okay. So Asia, if you had to break that down, right? Answer Mary's question, right? Because she on the fence. Is it good or is it bad? The fact that they have it easier.
I think it's bad. If I have to pick a side, because we're doing very black and white, I think it's a bad thing.
Damn right.
Um, and the reason why I think it's a bad thing is because for several reasons. One, I think that because of the lack of structure and they feel so free to be themselves, they've lost a sense of decorum. You know how they act in public. I would have never acted how they act in public now. Cussing, screaming, the way they dress. It's just there's no decorum. And so yes, we want them to be free, free in thought and free in speech, but still there has to be boundaries. And it's like this is a without boundaries generation that's coming up. So it is a double-edged sword. I do agree with Mary. It's a double-edged sword. Um, what do you value? Do you value the freedom that we're allowing them, or do you know because that also goes into not having decorum. That also goes into not knowing how to talk to people, knowing how to talk amongst.
But let me ask you a question though, because Mary said it and you said it. We're answering this question on the assumption that freedom is good.
We need no, we need freedom. We need freedom, but we have to have freedom with caveats, I think, right? Because just pure freedom is anarchy. You're verging on anarchy when it's just total freedom. There's no bounds. There has to be boundaries. There has to be bounds. I think also part of it, I want to touch upon too. The second part is if they have it so easy, how do they know tenacity? How do they know how to work hard? How do they know? Because they didn't have to struggle. I'm not saying struggle is I think struggle is a good thing, to be very honest with you. Because when you work out, it hurts when you work out, but you're building your muscle. And I think a lot of these kids now don't have muscle. They don't have muscle to make it through anything. They fold at the drop of a hat. And that's what I'm saying. They don't have it like we have. They don't have, when I say we, I'm talking about my generation. They don't have that ambition. They don't have that that muscle power to keep on going because it's so hard. It's too hard. I'm just gonna quit. No, where's the tenacity at?
Okay. What's up, Corey?
To answer the question, yes, they have it easier. I think very few of them take advantage of that, but I think they have it easier to do just because they have more access to knowledge and resources, which is the most important thing you can have. So yeah, they have it easier, but a lot of them not taking advantage of it.
Hmm. All right, so let's break down maybe some of the things that this generation has experienced that we also experienced, and let's break down if they have it easier or harder. What's up, Mary? What you about to say?
So when I'm referencing it being a double-edged sword, because I feel like it is a benefit of where they are, I feel like children are more vocal. I have a 7-year-old that's not going to listen to anything anybody else says without any questions. He's going to ask you 100 questions if you come around him and you try to act normal and try to take him. He's going to ask 100 questions because I allow him to be vocal. You get what I'm saying? I got a 10-year-old that might be convinced with some V-Bucks, but I got my 7-year-old where he's going to ask 100 questions because he's allowed to be more vocal. He's allowed more to express himself. Also, with me allowing him to be vocal, he's talking to me about issues that may come up. If he's feeling bullied in school, he doesn't always think that he's in trouble when he has to come to me about something. So that's where I'm at on the edge of where I'm like, that double edged sort of, no, there's nothing wrong with it, but yes, there is at the same time. So just
So you think him being inquisitive is freedom?
yeah, I grew up where I couldn't be open with my parents, or I grew up always being afraid of, what I'm about to say or what I'm really thinking in my mind.
So trust is freedom
What do you mean?
because you didn't trust your parents, but he trusts you. That's freedom.
I feel like it can give him a sense of freedom of speech and freedom of emotion, that he's not forced to feel one type of way or think one type of way because I may feel that way or somebody else may feel that way.
So that last thing that Mary said, Q, isn't that kind of the issue that kids aren't being guided? Because that's what that sounds like when you say freedom to think any which way they want and do and get sex changes and all this other shit. Um, couldn't that be an issue?
Oh, god damn him. I don't really think I heard getting sex changes in there.
You know, 'cause motherfucking kids just because they just letting kids make decisions.
Well, no, I think what she's saying is he has the comfort to come to her freely and say what it is that he's feeling, and not necessarily that she's pushing a certain agenda with him, but those same vocal freedoms of your emotions or any issues that you noticed weren't present in our generation with our parents, because everything was take it to your grave or we don't talk about that.
Hey, you gonna have one less Facebook friend. Fuck, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and we out.